Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemire to review Saturday's clash between Blackpool and Brighton. Pascal, starting with the home side, incredible collapse last time out at Watford.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? Obviously, they haven't won away from home all season, and they go 2-0 up at Watford. I mean, Watford, it was never going to be an easy game. I didn't necessarily expect them to hold on to the 2-0 lead after half-time, given that Watford, they're one of the top six sides, aren't they? So, yeah, they conceded 7 in the second half. That's just astoundingly bad from them. And obviously, since then, Rotherham have picked up a win in midweek, so they're now 12 points from safety. And obviously, Leeds also won their recent game. So, yeah, like I said, 12 points from safety now. And you do wonder if they might be done now. 12 points is a big gap to catch up. And it just keeps getting worse. And they tried to sign O'Donnell from Partick Thistle up in Scotland. They agreed terms with the club. They agreed a fee, but then they couldn't convince the player to come down. That's so bad. Not being able to convince a player. All respect to the Scottish League. Championship is probably a better standard, and you've got more chance of progression if you come down to England. But they couldn't convince him to come down. They've since signed a Manchester United youngster, Rothwell's come in, but I don't think he's ever played a senior game in the Football League. So, is that the sort of player you want to come in for a sort of dirty relegation battle? You do wonder. So, such big problems for them. And like I say, I do wonder if they might be done now. 12 points from safety is a massive gap to climb.
It won't be easy against a Brighton side who picked up a decent run of form lately.
They certainly have, yes. 3 wins out of 4 now in the league under Chris Hughton. Very impressive. Their most recent game was against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and they played quite well in that game. Obviously, they fell behind early on to that Walcott goal. That was, because there was a big crowd there. They were sort of quite expecting to fall behind quite early like that. Was disappointed, but they fought hard in that game. They did well. Got it back to 3-2. They weren't quite able to bring it back at the end of the game, but yeah, on the whole, it was a decent performance. Losing to the holders like that, it's not the worst result at all. But I think the league performance in midweek before that was the big game for them to beat Ipswich like that, because Ipswich, right up there at the top of the table, and they were chasing top spot in that game, Ipswich. But to go there and beat them 3-2, they scored 3 goals in the first half as well. It was very impressive. All great goals as well. Baldock put them ahead with a fantastic strike, and then Teixeira, guy I know from Liverpool, 2 great goals as well. The first one, he dribbled in and out, got a bit of a lucky deflection, but good finish. And the third one as well was a fantastic strike, as he sort of ran onto the ball. So if he's playing well like that, Bulldogs, since he came in, he hasn't scored many goals, but if he can start scoring goals, that'd be good for them. But yeah, I think they've got Dale Stephens as well. I sort of picked him, at the start of the season as maybe their key player, but he's been out injured for a long time now with sort of nerve damage, which is disappointing for him. But he's recently made his return for the under-21, so if he can come back, they brought in a Kyle from Celtic, who that could be a decent addition for them. So I think they're looking quite good now. They're one of 3 teams, 5 points above the bottom 3 now. So I think they sort of need to start pulling away, but decent under Chris Hughton certainly so far.
So things looking up under Hughton. Sorry, do you think they're going to pick up another win here?
I do. Obviously, I've said about Blackpool. You wonder if there's any morale left at the club now. They really are struggling, and that's 7-2 defeat. I mean, what does that do to the players? It just must completely sort of decimate the morale in the squad. So I think I'm going to go for a 1-0 Brighton win.
Also going for a 1-0 win to Brighton.